Shalom. I'm listening to this brother on YouTube. He's a Israelite. You know, I don't agree from the standpoint when he say that hamashiach did not die for the Israelites and for all the other nations who shall be set apart to become that holy, set apart nation. I don't agree with that part. But you know, the reason I say that is because you can go to Hebrews, also in Psalms, where the Most Highest called him Elo. He said, and it goes something like this, and God said unto God, and he said, and God called him God, basically. Also in Isaiah, he was given code names like the Prince of Peace, the Mighty God. You know, and he said, I come in the volume of the book. He said, no man has seen, I'm just using terms that's the way the King James write it. No man has seen God at any time. And then he turned around and said, I believe it was Nathaniel. Was it Nathaniel? Because I'm not looking at scripture right, it's going from my head. I believe he said Nathaniel. I think it was Nathaniel. You correct me though if you find it to be a different name. I think he said, have you not been with me and you say you have not seen the Father? And then Revelations, it says, thus says the Amen, the first creation of God. I believe it was. He said, for I proceeded, he said, if you say, he said, you of your father, the devil is, because if God was your father, I'm just using the term God because that's how they use it in the King James version. I'm talking about Elo, the Most Highest. He said, if he was your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from him. He said, I always do the will of my Father. Why? Because he's the word of the Father. He proceeded forth and came from the Father. He can't do nothing but do and say what the Father says because he is the Father in bodily forms. Colossians says, he is the express image of the Father. And then Philippians 2 and 9, I believe he said, for this cause he has been given a name above every name. He said he thought it not robbery to be equal with the Father. And then, okay, so that's not, I don't know why I said that because that's not why I got on here to say this. He was talking about, but also Quinn Cool, man, he has a lot of good thoughts. And he studies well, so he has a lot of good thoughts. So I'm not here to knock the brother. I'm just here to, saying what I disagree about what he say. But he has a lot of good thoughts, and he had a thought that he was sharing out of the scriptures about how the heavens cannot contain the great creator Elo. And then let me read these scriptures and I'll continue that thought. I'm just going to read it how it is. It says, but will God indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain you. How much less this temple which I have built. So, nothing can contain the Almighty, right? Nothing. You can't put him in a box. You can't put him. But guess what? Watch what else he say though. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? He said we're the temples that he's going to dwell in. But he had to do a work first before he can dwell in it, that we can contain him. What's going to happen that would allow us to be able to contain him, or his Spirit? Because you got to remember, the Most High is a consuming fire. So you got to be made out of the right material to contain his Spirit, that you will not be consumed. It's like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was in the fire, and they was not consumed because, once again, that man he indeed was a prophet unto Moses, but he was more than a prophet. He said, for greater than the prophet, greater, what was it said? Was it Elias or was it? I believe he said greater than he is with you. You know, he talking about himself. He said he's greater. If you can see the mystery in it, you can understand that he is greater than what has been told about him from the bare eye, but through the Spirit, you'll better see him for who he is. Watch what he says. This is the people that's going to be able to contain the Spirit of the Most Highest, because they're going to be created to do so. They're going to be born of the Most High. Say, for he who is born of the great Elo cannot sin, for he is born of him. 1 Corinthians 15, 51 and 53. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. There's a lot of, they can be seen two ways. Sleep, that's fine, because the dead know not anything. And that can be seen in two ways. The dead that's walking around the earth don't know anything. They're blind to what is really going on. But we shall all be changed. So we're going to be changed from that sleep state, which can also mean, the physical and the spiritual, the literally dead or the walking dead. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, that sound, you better hear. He said, my sheep know my voice. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Those are the ones that are going to better contain the Spirit of the Most High, because they were created to do so. They're going to be changed in a moment, the twinkling of an eye. They're going to be awakened to be able to hear his voice. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Shalom.